Hello and welcome to Anatomy of a Blu-ray. Today we are talking about the Oceans Trilogy. Bought this packed, actually on eBay of all things. Comes with all three films, the first film, and second and third. It's got a good amount of details for the whole trilogy. I like the artwork for it. It's kind of iconic, relatively so. And as you can see on the back there, it does have details about each film, as well as the special features and the extra details. So, I mean, for the most part, not really an overly amount to say. I've only just currently watched the first film, but I plan to go through all three and just add them onto this video, so expect lighting, angle, and costume changes as we go along. But obviously, from the get-go, I'm just going to talk about the product, the packaging. What do I think about the packaging? It's standard Blu-ray case. I think the artwork is good. I don't mind that it's actually called Oceans Trilogy. I kind of think that works. I prefer that over Oceans 1, 2, like Oceans 11, 12, and 13 or whatever. I think it's very basic. I like how on the back it does specify what the special features are for each disc, as well as talking about the, the main features, how it's all 1080p, it's all widescreen. It isn't widescreen, it's letterboxed, but still. It's 2 to 4 to 1, 24 to 1, 2 to 4 to 1, anyway. And you got Dolby Digital English 5.1, as well as standard subtitles in English and French for some reason. And it does say that the special features may not be in high definition. They're basically all in standard definition, 4x3 stuff. It's basically TV specials, but we'll dive into that depending on each release. And of course, this actually does specify the runtime for each film, which is quite nice. I like how it has Oceans 11, 116 minutes, Oceans 12, 125 minutes, and Oceans 13, 122 minutes. Back when they used to do that on Blu-ray releases, or just physical releases in general. So, of course, let's talk about the first film, Oceans 11. So, video and audio for Oceans 11. Video-wise, the film looks very good, healthy, sharp. It's got the Soderbergh's usual visual flair, which it looks fine on Blu-ray. The whites are a bit high, but I think that, again, it's just his style, so it works. It's got kind of a more of a realistic kind of vibe. I don't know. I don't really know how to detail that, but it's not. It predates a lot of those 2000s overly color-coded imagery and stuff like that, so I'm okay with it. It's obviously in-camera stuff that they've used, but no, the film looks fine. Audio-wise, it's got a 5.1 track, but it's very front-heavy, so I've got the 5.1 setup with the 2 on the back for at the front, and it's just the front that it focuses on, mostly dialogue through the front main speaker, and background and score through the side speakers, which I think works. You got the Jersey vibe, but you also get the fast-paced dialogue throughout the front, so it keeps you focused, it keeps you in tune. I feel like they could have done something else with the back speakers, especially when they're in the casino, for example, in big large areas, but they don't, and they don't utilize them. I didn't really check to stand up and listen, but I couldn't notice anything throughout the whole entire film, so nothing spectacular to run home about there. But yes, as an overall, dialogue is crisp, soundtrack's jazzy, actually sounds pretty good, despite it being limited mostly to the front. So, visual and audio-wise, pretty good package. Obviously, you got your special features. You got a director and writer commentary with Steven Soderbergh and Griffin. I didn't take a look at any of the commentary tracks, but there's at least a detailed one there, plus a cast commentary, which has Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, and Andy Garcia. So, yeah, by the looks of it, from the read-downs from the HD Digest, I think that is what it is, High Def Digest. The first one talking about the director and writer commentary, saying how Steven Soderbergh and Ted Griffin deliver a dry but informative track that does a suitable job of describing the work that went into the film. Sadly, Griffin sucks much of the life out of the track, leaving the usual quick-witted Soderbergh to dole out boring location details and camera angles. So it's pretty standard, by the sounds of it, behind-the-scenes people talking about the movie. So I feel like the next track which they mention, which is the cast commentary, apparently they say it's so actors Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, and Andy Garcia sit down to deliver a hilarious chat that covers every aspect of the production. I love listening to their anecdotes and playful barbs. Pitt is a riot, tapping into his trademark deadpan charm and to provide joke after joke at the expense of his fellow cast and crew. Damon has a blast, providing a revealing glimpse into Soderbergh's directorial personality and style. Garcia feels like an old man of the group, but he mingles well enough. This is an excellent track that had me smiling from beginning to end. So at least you got one that's very technical and one that's more fun and bouncy and informative. So, best of both worlds. I did, however, take a look at the rest of the special features, not including the theatrical trailers, of which there was a 5-minute trailer. I believe they had 3 different trailers, two theatrical teasers and one full-length trailer, or it just had 3 trailers. I didn't look into it. Doesn't really matter. I'm gonna watch it's a film that you put it on and it starts the film straight away. So I'm not gonna jump to the menu and be like, oh, I want to watch these trailers. It's not gonna happen. But it's basically standard definition, 5 minutes total. I did look at the HBO First Look, which is on all 3 of them. They have HBO First Looks. This is a 15-minute preview talking about the film, all the cast and crew discussing it, which is really fun. Actually, it's fun to see all the cast and crew talking about the film and like the element of going into it and stuff like that. There's not really much to say about it. Basically, it's worth watching. I feel like just because of it's fun to kind of get it. It's just basically behind the scenes, but it's one of those featurettes that companies would release to be like, hey, look at the cast and directors talking about how fun the movie is. You should come watch the movie for exactly that reason. Like, they do a lot of those as featurettes these days on YouTube. These were back in cable networks actually, advertising the film, hence the HBO First Look. But definitely worth watching. The Look of the Con, which is a 10-minute clip, is basically just talks about costuming, which is, it kind of makes sense. But I actually enjoyed it. It's only 10 minutes long, but it's basically the costume designer and the director talking about all the different elements of how they wanted each character to look and how they wanted to feel their characters and stuff like that, like examining character by character and everything. It's really well done. I think I like how these are edited as well. Like, they're not just cheap, just cut to the director or just cut to the guy talking, It's not just talking head stuff. Like, this stuff is well produced. You've got multiple different cuts to it. You've got like split screen editing. This is for both of them, so it has quite a lot of features to it, and I really, really appreciated that. I mean, they're obviously like kind of made for TV stuff in a way, hence the 4:3 aspect ratio and stuff. But as simple behind the scenes stuff, I think special features wise, this kind of hits out of the park. And I'd imagine that the rest of them, given that they all have director and writer commentaries and nearly 30 minutes of additional scenes for the second film, plus the HBO First Look and a theatrical trailer, and the third one has commentary again by director and 2 screenwriters, additional scenes, a master of the heist, Vegas and opulent vision, and another thing talking about the producer, talking about the casinos. So it looks like it's pretty in-depth stuff. So let's take a look at Ocean's 12. So we continue the trilogy of Ocean's 12 and 13. I've double featured them, so now at least I can talk about them. I guess just video, audio-wise, because I've never done a trilogy-wise in terms of talking in a review for a video. They all have like the same kind of, like, they're all shot similar. They're all got similar like a style to them, which on Blu-ray looks really nice. There are some heightened colors and stuff like that, especially in the first and second one. The whites are a bit, whites and yellows are very heightened, whereas in the third one, it's more of like the blues and the reds. There's a lot of like nightlife stuff, especially, one of the opening shots is Brad Pitt's character walking to a private jet, and it's like him semi-silhouetted against a completely blue sky, so color-wise, they're very interestingly made. The third one especially looks really bloody nice. But again, same audio, it's just the same 5.1 kind of stuff. Front heavy, back basically nothing. But you get used to it like really quickly because it just drives you in. It's all about what's happening immediately, and it wants you to be a part of that. So I think it works. You know, it wouldn't hurt to have some kind of dynamicness, especially the third one does have some extra bass because it does have a earthquake sequence to some degree. So there is a lot more of like that. I don't really know how much of the surround sound incorporated, if at all, but that would probably be the only part I'd say would maybe have incorporated a bit of surround sound, but for the most part it was basically heavy bass, everything else, you know, heavy subwoofer, everything else was quite nicely bound together. So audio-visual wise for the sequels, very nice. So overall, like in terms of a trilogy set, very nice. Special features wise for the trilogy, basically. As I mentioned, they all have audio commentaries. I didn't listen to the audio commentary, so I have no real appeal to that or opinion. Nevertheless, hey, audio commentary for each film. I think they probably learnt from the first time around that it would be nice to go more into, because it's the second and third film are strongly just director and screenwriter and director and screenwriters for the third one. So, unfortunately, you know, no more commentaries of the cast, but it probably would have cost more to do that, whereas for Ocean's 11, they probably just did it for fun. In terms of special features for the second film, for Ocean's 12, it has the HBO First Look 12 as the new 11. It's the same as the previous HBO First Look. It's just a 15-minute trailer for the movie where all the cast and crew talk about how fun it was to work on the film. It's simple as that. It gives you a good vibe, to be honest. It doesn't feel cheap at all. It's nice, it's fun. Brad Pitt just, he acts like he doesn't like the film or doesn't care about anything. Obviously, it's a joke, so there's enough fun to be had for the audience as well. Not a complete waste of time, per se. It does have 30 or nearly 30 minutes of additional scenes, plus a theatrical trailer. This is a long, like these movies, again, like the second one is 125 minutes and the third one 122. And you can kind of feel it in the second one. There's a lot of different things happening. It feels a bit messy as a film. I personally like it. Like, it's... My review was basically saying how it's a film that... the point isn't to be focusing like on the plot and to think, oh, but if this person backstabbed this person there and then they backstab that and then they this, you know, sure, you can figure that out in your own time, and whether it makes sense or not, it doesn't really matter. But the whole point is that they're just having fun. They're just fucking with each other and they're having fun with it. Who cares? You know, it's all about having fun. So it does have 30 minutes of additional scenes. No, I did not watch those additional scenes. I had no interest to watch them. But nevertheless, you know, it's always fun. I don't know why my receiver just turned on by itself. It does that occasionally. I had no reason to watch the deleted scenes. I started with the first one, which was like an alternate opening scene, and I was like, yeah, I'm good. I don't... For me personally, it doesn't add much to always be watching deleted scenes unless they're like it probably does have like extra stuff that is necessary for the plot or just like little character things or whatever, but I can imagine that most of it was just character stuff, which it even notes what each thing is, so it's not just here's a list of deleted scenes, it's actually here's the list of deleted scenes, we've given them all names and we've actually given them all a brief description. So special features wise, because all the films are formatted the same, you start the movie, then you get to this end title, which is just the menu saying play movie, audio commentary, extra special features, and all that jazz. So it's not hard to figure out what the fuck's going on. So I feel like the second one, good. Personally, in as a film, I think it's fun. I don't think it's as comprehensible as the first one, but obviously they wanted to do something different, which makes sense. But I like it. I feel like it has a nice kind of beat to it. It all kind of goes at a good rhythm, so it's nice. It's fun. In terms of special features wise, it has a good amount of stuff. So, you know, you're not really losing out. I'd say it probably has more than the first film, but the first film does have, you know, the HBO First Look and the Look at the Con and 2 audio commentaries. But so they equal out. The third one, on the other hand, again, just a single audio commentary, but it does have additional scenes, which I didn't watch. But it does have Masters of the Heist, recalling real-life sophisticated heists, which is like 45 minutes long. I watched about the first half an hour of it because it's basically detailing 4 different heists, like it's a HBO special kind of deal. It's nicely produced. It's fun to watch and very interesting. I didn't care to watch the last heist, which was two cops, fake cops, stealing from an art gallery. Didn't interest me at all. So I just, I'm pretty sure I've seen it before. It looks familiar. I don't know if I don't know where the hell I've seen it before, but it looks like something I've seen before. But it was informative. It was fun. It's a real life thing. It doesn't have anything to do with the film outside of just, you know, heists and jewelry and money and casinos occasionally. It did have Vegas and opulent vision, which is Las Vegas' influential design sense, and then you've got Jerry Weintraub walk and talk. The producer takes us on a casino tour. To be fair, these are probably interesting. One's about Vegas, one's about the casino. I don't personally care to look into it. I know realistically you'll be thinking, but isn't it kind of like the whole idea of these videos was like, yeah, I mean, I can understand that, but if it's not something specifically to do with the film, I don't always think that the special features are worth it, but at the same time, it can always be fun. Like, at least the first disc, the first film had the look of the con and the making of Ocean's 11, and they were both about the behind the scenes of the film. And the second one still had the HBO first look, which was about the behind the scenes of the film. The third one doesn't have anything to do with the film outside of the casino tour, and I'm like, I don't need a casino tour. I'm good. I can live my life without watching this special feature. So I'd say that the quality of the special features don't go downhill, because again, the third one does have the what the hell's it called again? The Masters of the Heist, which was still pretty fun to watch. As an overall, a good trilogy set, worth getting. Obviously, this is the British Region B version. I don't think it's any other region outside of Region B. It doesn't stipulate. Probably says it on the discs. It does not. But they've all got the British, rating system, so I can only imagine that they're Region B. But sometimes when it doesn't stipulate, it means that it doesn't, they're probably all regions. Nevertheless, overall, is this a worthwhile product? Look, the trilogy is a banger of a trilogy. 3 pretty nice films, like from personal ratings. The first one, absolute classic, and the second one and the third one are still really good. They're both quite different. The third one is replicating to some degree the first film, but has a different style and presence to itself, whereas the second film is completely different, but it's still fun. I think that it's a quite nice of a trilogy, and realistically, again, you could always continue the series. I have personally watched Ocean's 8, and it was an okay film. But I think Soderbergh's style in particular, and having the cast together, it's always fun, but it's going to be hard to replicate part of the cast where, unfortunately, some of them have since passed away, so I don't really think a fourth one would probably happen. But nevertheless, what you get is a really nice, solid pack, good artwork, good disc art, good special features, good transfers, a solid Blu-ray set overall, and wholeheartedly worth recommending. I mean, I can argue that calling it Ocean's Trilogy might be a bit yucky, but I prefer that over Ocean's 11, 12, 13, 11, 12, 13, or Ocean's 11 / Ocean's 12 / I wouldn't mind that, but it's going to be under O for Oceans, so I know where to find it if I need to look for it. Anyway, that's all for now. Thank you all so much for watching. I feel like I could probably have dug into the second and third film more in terms of special features, but realistically, they're fine. Again, I'm not going to watch the additional scenes. It's already kind of a mess of a film, so to try and reorganize in your brain where these extra scenes go, not exactly quite a cup of tea for me. There are some films I personally like having deleted scenes in it, like the Scooby-Doo 2002. I really like those those deleted scenes, and I feel like there should be a cut of that film with all the deleted scenes incorporated. Nevertheless, this film does manage to work without those deleted scenes, so I'd probably say it there. I mean, it does say, additional scenes. So it's like, oh, here's additional stuff that we shot, but we didn't need to include it in the movie in the end result. And it's an extra half an hour, remember? So, yeah. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed this anatomy of a Blu-ray. See you next time. Adios.